guys, welcome back to Charity's YouTube channel. My name is Archie. I'm a medical student, a pastor, and a wife to a very cool husband. I'm so blessed to be here, and I'm excited to share with you about my journey on this medical path. It's a hideous, long path. So yes, any other question that you'd like, please leave it in the comment section below. I've not had anything like this on my channel. Yes, I'm also a YouTuber, forgot to say. I haven't had anything like this on my channel, and I think this is a very, very good initiative to have topics related to careers. I mean, vlogs are important and stuff, but nothing is more important than your future and your career. So I do hope that you like this video. Actually, give it a big thumbs up right now. Comment down below as the video goes on, and yeah, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. So here we go. Roll the intro. Okay, so as mentioned before, as much as I'm a pastor, a wife, and a YouTuber, I am also a medical student. So I'm gonna get into medicine, the career choice of medicine, what it takes, what you need, and so forth. So I hope that someone that is considering medicine actually watches this video. Point number one, if you want to be a doctor, don't do it for the money. Honestly, don't do it for the money. Don't do it for the money. I remember when I was in third year, first year was fine, second year was fine. When I was in third year and the work just got overwhelming, because that's when you get into practicals, clinics, and you're learning basic medicine, right? It really got overwhelming, it got quite difficult, and it was a lot. And so immediately I just thought, I remember sitting so well in an internal medicine class, and I just thought to myself, why did I choose to do this? So if you're getting into it for the money, change careers right now. Actually stop watching this video and just change careers, because medicine isn't for the money. It's so much hard work, especially getting to the degree, which takes you a while to get to the degree. So first and foremost, before we get into requirements and all that, if you want to do medicine for the money, you're doing it for the wrong reason. It should be a passion that you had. I remember growing up, I wanted to be a prime minister. Okay, let me tell you a story time. I wanted to be a president. No, I wanted to be a doctor, then I wanted to be a president, then I wanted to be a doctor, then I wanted to be a prime minister, because I really like talking and I wanted to be in the parliament, then I wanted to be a doctor. So I think according to career, if I have to say, the one thing I really wanted to be was to be a doctor all my life. I didn't think of law, I didn't think of, actually I'm considering law now, but that's a story for another day. I didn't want anything else but to be a doctor. So what requirements do you need? What path did I take? In high school, I went to Delta. In high school, I took science, the science field, that's biology, physics, chemistry, math. And then I had two additional, and then I had English and German, but I had an additional subject which was accounting. I took accounting because I'm a number girl, like I do numbers better than I do a language, you know? So I took accounting and had my major subjects on high level. I started all my subjects high level, including German. Don't ask me why. And when I got to grade 11, I'm like, but I don't even, now when I got to grade 12, I was like, no, I don't even need accounting on higher. And until we started drawing graphs, I'm like, why are we drawing graphs? And the balance sheet is not balancing. I'm like, what happened? So yes, I downgraded my accounting and I downgraded my German, but the rest I did on higher. So I don't think you need to do it on high level, but if you're able to do it, then go ahead, why not? So yes, I did my math, physics, chemistry, biology, and English on high level. The requirements that you need according to everywhere. I'm on a scholarship with MOS, Ministry of Health, if there's anyone there like me that doesn't do well with abbreviations. The requirement that you need for UNAM School of Med is 35 points in, is it 5? Let me tell you the story of School of Med. I was in Swakop on the 31st of August, that's when applications closed 2014. And I was in Swakop for spring school, for maths and physics. And my mother had been telling me, apply, and I said, I'm applying, until I know the 31st, and D date for applications was 31st, and I couldn't apply. So I handed in my application. I didn't even hand it in. The truth is, I didn't hand it in. My mother thinks I handed it in, but I didn't hand it in. I don't even think. I hope she doesn't watch this, but I didn't hand in the application. So I applied to essay. So the first year, so I finished school 2014. So 2015 I applied to essay, and in essay I did a BSc degree, biomedical science degree. Because Namibians can't study medicine in South Africa, so you need to do a BSc and then get into university. So I did it in Joburg, and then I was gonna get into, by the grace of God, into vets in third year. And then a scholarship came out, and school fees were quite expensive as a foreign student. So scholarship came out, and I'm like, why not? Why not jump at this heads on? Like, just get in. So yeah, that's what I did. So I left my BSc degree, which I did for a full year. I did my first year and somewhere till March second year. So yeah, that's what you basically need, even for School of Med, 35 and 5. But the thing is, you'll get 35 and 5, but it doesn't mean you'll be accepted. They take a lot. All medical schools, I've noticed. I've got some friends studying in Hungary. I got a friend that was studying in Jamaica as well. Like all over the world, what you need is not just points, but you also need extramural activities. That's being a prefect or a LRC, SRC. That's doing sports. That's doing science fair stuff. Like people aren't looking for bookworms. You know, I have a friend. Sort of fresh, she was a schoolmate, super smart, probably one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. She was a Delta, but she wasn't accepted at UNAM School of Med. She was very smart, like one. But because she didn't have any extramural activity, she wasn't accepted, and she appealed, and she's in. Okay. So people aren't just looking for grades, they're also looking for extramural activities, if you're well spoken of, if you have a background. We're not looking for books, we're looking for people that can relate with human beings, because you're working with human beings. So that's what you basically need. What challenges have I experienced on the way? I think the greatest challenge in the medical whatever is just remember you're smart. Like it gets kind of difficult, it gets kind of hard, and one of the things that people don't really pay much attention to, especially medical students or not medical students, the health sector, is mental health. It's like we treat with the psych wards, we treat psych patients and stuff, but we don't consider ourselves to be going through the same symptoms. We don't consider ourselves to be suffering the same or having trauma. Because I think one of the greatest things, unfortunate things that have happened to me, is I lost a patient once. My first patient that I've actually lost. She just came in, she couldn't breathe, and she was having I don't know what's okay, I'll tell you guys that later. Shortness of breath. So she had shortness of breath. She came in, and I remember I was fourth year and I was rotating in surgery. And she came in, and I was on call, and she just came in, and I was in the ER, and she just came in, and she had shortness of breath, and I was like, why? It was overwhelming. And the intern came in, intern took over me. I'm like, don't worry, auntie, breathe. Instead of actually treating the patient, I think that's like traumatizing part. So yeah, patient goes into, we take her, intubate her, whatever. And then next thing I'm checking up on my patient, literally like maybe after 30-45 minutes, the lady is gone. And I'm like, hello. But because we intubated her, you can still see her movement, her respiratory movements. Like you can see her chest dilating and stuff. So because of the intubation, which is the pipe, in case she was an art student. So I thought she was alive, and then the man comes like, nah, this one's gone, dear. And it's so traumatizing because she was just here now and next just gone. And I think that's one of the challenges, just getting used to death. It's kind of hard. It affects you a lot, which brings me back to mental health, because you lose friends and family along the way, but because you have experienced death so much in the hospital, you become, I'm sorry to say, it's like you become ice. I remember last year during the pandemic, we didn't go on holiday. So I went to my dean and I'm like, I want to travel. And she's like, and I'm like, I have a grant, my mom's pregnant, blah, blah, blah. I just want to go, I just need to see my family. And she said, no dear, I was where I don't know where she was. And she's like, I lost my mom, whatever. You just need to be cold. You need to ponerte frio. That means like you need to put yourself, you need to be ice cold. And it's really true, because it's like, you're not gonna cry for every patient that dies. You're not gonna. It's gonna hurt you. It's gonna affect you. But especially with the pandemic, you see bed covered. There's a patient. 5 minutes later, you went to get something. You come back, the patient's gone. And I think that's the greatest challenge as a human being, just to suffer the trauma and then just brush it away because you have an next patient, or brush it away because say you lost a patient when you're on call in the morning, you have an exam. You can't think about your patient, you have an exam to write. So I think that's the greatest challenge, is just the fact that your mental health is being affected. And many people don't actually think mental health is a big deal, especially in the health sector. It's like when you think of lawyers, quite often did you find a corrupt lawyer? The same thing, like doctors speak about mental health, but they see themselves suffering from mental health just as much. So I think that's one of the challenges in the health sector that I've experienced thus far. I should say this one, but another should be the fact that it's very long. I'm saying, I don't know if I should say because it's what you chose, but it's quite long. It's quite a long, tedious, long, extremely long process. Somewhere along the line, you're just like, and what am I doing? When I graduate, it'll be exactly 20 years of going to school. I was even telling my grandmother, they're just like, yo. I was even telling her, thinking about specializing, and right now I'm just like, So I think those are the challenges that I've experienced in this career. Personally, disclaimer, speaking about myself. So yeah, I think above all, and I think greatly with that, it's this one thing, mental health, and the fact that the journey is so long. What would I tell a new medical person or someone that wants to get into medicine? If you're getting into medicine, make sure that was your first. Make sure that is your first priority. Make sure that you didn't get into it because of family, because of status. Yes, guys, I put the stethoscope. No, I didn't. My husband put the stethoscope there, maybe because I don't know why he put it there. If you're getting in because of the stethoscope, then you totally missed the entire drill. You totally missed if it's the white coat, if it's being called doctor. You can study another degree. You can be a doctor in English, you can be a doctor in law, you can do anything else. But this one thing, medicine, really requires you to bring out your all. It really requires you to go all out. Like, you can't come half. You can't come half. You can't come half like, it doesn't work then. No, because it will affect you a lot. It will bring you down. It will work on you quite much. So when you're gonna do it, you gotta go all out, like all out, completely. I will talk about the positives or the benefits of studying medicine. I feel like, from a Christian perspective, I remember I'm rotating in ophthalmology and I'm 5th year by the grace of God. So I'm rotating through ophthalmology, and we just quickly went through the anatomy again, which we did in 1st year, but we had to go through again because no one remembers, honestly. I feel like when it comes to studying medicine, what I've learned is, when we were doing it, we did it on Tuesday. I just looked at how there's actually a hole, right? I don't know how to explain it, but in your scalp there's a hole, and this hole, there are blood vessels, there are veins, arteries, and nerves that go through it. And I just thought to myself, how great is God that He even considered I should make a hole for arteries, veins, and blood vessels to go through just one hole. And it's so amazing. I think from a Christian perspective, it just makes me believe that there must be a higher power, there must be God out there, there must be, get what I mean? Like, there must be a God, there must definitely be a God. There must be a God out there, a great God. That's a benefit. Like, it builds up my faith to know that you don't need to tell your heart, pump, pump, pump. You know, it's like God made everything so perfect in His time. He made it so perfect in His image. He made it so perfect that you don't have control over the little, or I should call it little things. Get what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's one of the benefits. You see hope in people. Someone brings you how should I call it? Like a patient or family member, because they bring a family member. And when you get the patient and you speak to the patient, you just see people have hope in you. It's like someone has hope that I'll feel better after speaking to the doctor, or they'll help me, or just that. It's just being hopeful, or just being someone's hope. Because I feel like life, man, throw so many lemons, and you don't have what's a potato? What is it called? You don't have a blender to make lemonade. So what are you gonna do with the lemons? Get what I mean? So someone just comes to you and you're just able to work it out. You're just able to help, able to restore hope, able to give help by the grace of God. And I think that's one of the benefits of studying medicine. Just the fact that you can get deep into somebody's life and care about the person. Also when it comes to patients. And I think this goes back to earlier on when I was talking about it's not really about your grades, but the fact that you can interact with another human being. Because you find patients that come and the person has gone through this, and the mere fact that they have there's probably a side patient or whatever, the fact that you can just sit and just listen and you just listen, and the person feels so much better after sitting and being heard. But many people in our lives, we're so busy with everything else and we don't even pay attention to our brethren, we don't even pay attention to our friends, whatever. But that's a video for, I'm gonna wait for Charity to invite me on anything else that's not work related. So yeah, I think that's the benefits of studying medicine, the fact that you can administer, the fact that you can give hope to somebody, the fact that you can help somebody, the fact that you can, just when the person comes in sick, deadly sick, and you are excited to write out that discharge letter for the patient. It's such a blessing. Yeah, so that's personally what I've come to learn, come to find as a benefit, as a challenge, and so forth. Yes, I studied medicine in Cuba, like I had said. So my medical journey in Cuba had a lot of ups and downs because you're so far from home. Time difference is like 6 hours. And the fact that you're so far from home, you get homesick, the food is quite different. Like when I studied in South Africa, it was different because it was same but different. It was same food, same vibes, so whatever. You can take a flight home, come back the following day. But here it's so much money just for you to go home. It's quite different. I do medicine in Spanish, so my textbooks are in Spanish. Everything is in Spanish. No, it's not difficult. You adapt to it. It's not difficult because that's what you should know. So you've got this pile of textbooks that you need to learn in Spanish. And it's not easy. Patient comes, you only speak Spanish here. It's not like someone comes to speak. The only person who speaks English are your country mates or people, other students from outside or tourists or something. So it's just Spanish. So the fact that there's just Spanish happening, it for me personally, it kind of pushes me to study even more. Like I said earlier, I'm not a very linguistic person, so that's even why I took German. So it makes me push more because I know that I'm not very linguistic, so I have to put in extra effort. So I really love it. Why Cuban medicine? Because of the scholarship, first of all, my parents don't have to pay. And then secondly, I'm sure you know that there are Cuban doctors everywhere. So how things are done here on the island is that the island is quite behind in life, if I may say, because of the sanctions from the US. Read up on it, guys, read up on it. Looking at the sanctions of the US and whatever, so everything they need to do needs to be done. They can't get the latest equipment, they can't use the latest whatever, so everything is hands-on. So I don't even know, when you take your BP, there are ways that I should just because it's my husband. The way you take your BP, you just put it on a machine and then you press and it just swells up and then gives you a digital number. But here you need to with the stethoscope in the signal. So that's like studying medicine in Cuba. And the reason why they're all over and helping the world so much because they're hands-on. They don't depend on equipment much. They don't depend on advancement technology and stuff. Everything is hands-on, which is really helpful from my point of view. Here, while I'm here, it's quite helpful. But I feel like when I have to go back home, we might really struggle a lot because home is like advanced and here is that not quite advanced. So yes, I think that's really about it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. What else? Thank you so much for having me, Charity. May God bless your channel even more. Thanks for having this great segment on the channel. I hope that if you have watched this far, please do comment down below. Go Liverpool. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Please do check out my YouTube channel as well. And yeah, bye.